Welcome. Yo, I was about to take my whole chin off just now. Let me stop.
Well,
anyway, I
can't.
really can't. I'll throw my back at. Let me stop. No, welcome to the Earth is Ghetto podcast. Here we are again with you because we have more things to talk about because the Earth is still ghetto. So.
Very project, very hood, very alley.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they're definitely giving low rent. No, and that's but never giving us low rent. It's crazy. Anyway,
right.
But let's go ahead and get started. But of course, as always, we start with our little mental health check-in. I'm gonna start with you, Erin.
I love how you always start with me first. It's like, girl,
bitch, if you let me be the first one to say it, we gonna start with you, okay?
My mental health. I've had to learn to, when it comes to things that are out of my control, fuck it. I'm not going to stress over it. Otherwise, I will literally go insane. So that's my mental health. Very much just going with the flow of things. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out when it's time. That's my mental health right now because it's so much fuckery going on. I know y'all know, and this debate is coming up between Trump and Biden. That's next week.
Oh, God.
I know. Yeah. So I am just taking it day by day, second by second, minute by minute. That's my mental health.
So, as far as myself, I'm trying to masturbate daily. Let me stop. No, listen, I'm trying to keep my hopes up is what I'm saying.
Same.
So, no, let me be serious. For my mental health recently, I'm kind of in the same place as Erin, where it's like I'm realizing there's not a whole lot that I can control. So I have to just control what I can, and that's it. I really don't have the capacity to do more. Like, we're trying to get the hell out of the States. We are trying to do whatever we can. But to go ahead and stress ourselves to the nth degree, we already have bills on our head. Rent coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still have all of these things that we're trying to do. So I'm trying to just be more gentle on myself. Because I know that this is the state of the world. This doesn't matter whether you have a degree. It doesn't matter whether you live in a big house. Everybody is 6 months away from being homeless unless you're literally the 1%. And I'm not going to down myself anymore for things I haven't done or things I haven't accomplished, because there's people who have accomplished more than me, master's degrees, who are making less.
Yeah.
So I'm not about to go, and not to say master's degrees should be looked at as big fucking shit. It's a goddamn master's degree. But because of the state of the world and that we're in, I'm not going to continue to beat down on myself for not doing enough, or not doing this next thing, or not continually being productive. I feel like I'm trying. It's hard because you've seen me. Like, I take a day off and I'm just like, oh God, maybe I should have done more work, or I should have like left more notes, or maybe I didn't do, like, I'm trying to walk myself out of that, because at the end of the day, if this people were to let me go, now what?
Isn't it crazy how capitalism is so deeply rooted in us? Like, if you dare take a day off, you feel like a complete piece of shit. It's like, oh my God, I should be slaving for someone.
I can't believe that I am sitting in bed when I should be working and being productive.
I can't believe I'm taking a mental health day right now. Oh my God.
Yeah. And listen, I don't even have kids. Neither of us do. So people would definitely not believe that we have a reason to take a day off. What happens to people who got kids? Mothers they take care of, extra family they're responsible for. The fact that it gets to the point where the fact that I can take a day off, I have to feel so blessed, because there are people who got kids where that's not a possibility. Otherwise, they don't eat.
Yeah.
So I'm trying my best to be grateful for what I have, but also be understanding that the way that this shit is built, it's not built for us to have anything. Mm-hmm. Who am I fighting? Who am I about to knock over the head for what shit? So yeah, I think that was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but that is my mental health so far. Real talk.
Speaking of presidential debates, like I said, the first presidential debate between Biden and Trump, the two white supremacists, is happening next Thursday in Atlanta, where we stay at. Do you want, just for shits and giggles, do you want to go live and watch it and react to it? We know it ain't gonna mean shit.
It's
up to you though. We don't have to.
All I have to say is if I end up doing that, I feel like one of my eyebrows, especially since I paint these things on, guys. I ain't got no eyebrows for real. I'm gonna rub off one. Trying to watch this shit, and you're gonna see me with one Nike check mark on one side of my face for the whole live, and I'm not sure if that's what I want to do.
I'm going to look like back when we lived in separate houses on Zoom, and one I was following the other. I'm going to go back to that era. I feel like if I watch it.
Here's one eye. I'm trying my best to do it. Like I'm not trying to look too crazy,
right?
But listen, I am open to it. I just how long is that motherfucker?
We're gonna have to get high as fuck before we.
And when we say high, I mean we're going to go ahead and put down certain foundations and sit on them. Therefore, we'll be higher than the ground that we usually stand on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part.
You know what I mean? But yes, I believe that we should garden severely and intensely. And maybe a little sip of wine.
Yeah.
To get through all of that.
Because it's so sad we have a felon that can still run for president.
Well, we have people who bought just weed who are still in jail.
If he wins this presidency, which he probably might, to be pragmatic, he can run for president in the jail cell.
Let's be real.
Be president.
He's going to win.
And people will say, "Oh, y'all must like Trump." No, we're pragmatic about.
No,
the
I'm just being logical. You've got Genocide Joe, who literally, I feel like he'd be looking at the camera, and I can hear the symbols of the small monkey in his brain. I can clash, 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 clash. I can hear it. Let's be real. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Oh.
So let's dive right into the show so we could go ahead and give you some more information about our world because we love it. Where you, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start. Go ahead and let me know where you want to start, man.
Let's see. So much fuckery. Let me pick. I guess we can start with Marlon Wayans. Now, I don't like Marlon Wayans like that.
Listen, and when I say, I also agree with the statement. However, I will say that I think that Marlon Wayans is brilliantly talented.
Yeah.
What a talented, fine.
Oh yeah.
Him and Sean.
Yeah.
And by the way,
Choo.
Oh well, I mean they're brothers. So we're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
No, some of these niggas do be that's another conversation.
Okay, well we're gonna pretend that it's normal, and I just want just the one. You can have them after, but just the one at a time. I'm not. Listen, I'm older. The way my pussy is set up, we can't just be doing the most. I'm sorry. I can't.
Long story short, y'all have a problem with y'all do the same thing with the Wayne Wade when he posted Zaya Wade. Y'all have a problem when black men support their queer children.
Yeah.
Y'all have a problem with that. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the black, this is a black conversation. I'm not trying to hear, they do it too, and y'all not going to all lives matter.
This is a black queer podcast.
This is a black queer podcast. There's a problem in the black community when y'all talk about, unconditional love and be there for your kids, and we need more black men to be there for their children. But how dare they say, I love my gay son, I love my trans
child.
Oh my God, it's the end of the... I can't take y'all seriously, and we're not going to be free, as long as y'all have that same kind of mindset.
I also think that it is truly sad, especially within the black community where we talk so much about the absence of fathers and the nuclear family that y'all niggas are always so worried about.
Which comes from white supremacy.
100%, but that's another history book. But what kills me is the fact that you have these very black men, optically and mentally black men, because I know black Dominicans exist, but let's be real, and you're telling these straight heterosexual black men that it's not okay for them to love their child fully and as they are. It kind of takes that nuclear family shit and throws it out the window, doesn't it? Because it's not something you want. Because it's only something you want if it can fit in this particular box. And if it can't fit in that particular box, then it's okay for you to release your child into the fucking wilderness, which also informs the statistic that Black queer children are one of the biggest homeless demographics that we have.
I was one of them. You know?
My mama, who, by the way, didn't even know what trans was. She just knew I was dating a trans man. She don't know what the fuck that meant. It could have been a man or a transphobe. Mm-hmm. She have no idea. And my father's like, it's unnatural. You gotta leave my house. And mommy's like, me don't know all what that mean. All I'm saying, she not leaving this house tonight. She not going nowhere. If my Thank God my mother was not implanted with all of these ideas of the unnaturalness that y'all are so deep into. I would have been homeless on the street because of that exact same thing. I was still homeless for different reasons, but that's a different story. But let's be real. Black queer kids are one of the biggest homeless demographics that we have. And then we have men, beautiful black men, who are saying that they love their child no matter what. Not in spite of, not because. They just love their kids, no matter how they show up. And you guys have deep-seated issues with that. While you still can't find your daddy who left for milk 20 years ago. Okay.
Marlon Wayans said, and I quote, "Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ people. I did a photo shoot with a great photographer. P.S. I am straight. According to my child, cisgender male. I just love and support my people." And of course, the comments are saying, "Oh my God, it's the end of the world and nuclear family."
When I say this man put up so many posts, but this is how I gotta look at when Marlon Wayans' birthday is. In fact, let me go find out because he's my kind of petty. So I need to know what it is because after that one post, he posted like 6 more times.
Yeah, he said because of course the comments were saying, "Oh my God, this is the end times and all that dumbass shit." He said, and yeah, just for the hate mongers, I'm posting another. As a father of a child in the LGBTQ community, I show my support. Zero fucks what people think. If I lost you, good. Your hateful ass never loved me in the first place. How can you love anyone when you're too busy judging? Some of y'all funny. I'm a troll. I'll post all day. Happy Pride to all my friends, fans, and loved ones. I am happy. You're happy. Period.
Period. Pass that right quick. And let me tell you something. Oh, yeah. You're like, what are you passing? No, but let me tell you something.
Well, you can pass it.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Shit.
Girl, we don't. But will YouTube censor that?
Child, let's not talk about it yet.
Okay.
No,
you can pass the toilet paper.
Thank you, because we all have clean asses here. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I feel like the thing that is most important about this. I know, but I have to write it. Hold on, you gotta give me a second. I was trying to finish the thought. I gotta just see, and I'm leaving this in here too. I'm leaving this in here. I can't stand you. Anyway, I'm here trying to find a letter at the same time. But listen, no, I think that people need to understand that it is 110% the black community that is being so severely judgmental. Because you have to remember, Marlon Wayans is black famous. Dwayne Wade, not so much. That's a global last name. But see what demographic is saying what they're saying.
Should I do this off camera?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
I'm not.
Should I guard it off camera?
I'm cutting nothing. And just so you know, gardening comes in all forms. And we only, if you see any smoke whatsoever, it is tobacco smoke only.
This tastes really good.
That's because it's a wonderful brand of tobacco.
Honey.
Anyway, so I just want to go ahead and so chaotic.
Welcome to Earth is Ghetto podcast.
Stop. So they're like, the beginning of this shit is wild. No, but listen. So I do want to say that I am very much, even though Marlon Wayans has said some very problematic things in the past, especially in reference to like child support, a bunch of different stuff. And so I don't have any ill will towards Marlon Wayans, but I've always been able to look at him objectively. And objectively seeing the black community go ahead and attack him for loving his child is actually kind of amazing. It's the incredulity for me. I really hope that we can actually be better as a community. I'm glad that black queer people have rallied around Marlon Wayans the way that they have. And it's very sad to see the bulk of the black community kind of turn a blind eye to this type of hatred. But because we are very Christian and we are very conservative, this is not something that I'm surprised by.
Not at all.
I'm actually more surprised that Marlon Wayans actually decided to stand up for their kid. And that's the truth, sadly.
Moving on. A few days ago, I've witnessed some homeless people in Atlanta. But I know this is happening nationwide.
Yeah.
People are being arrested for feeding homeless people now. This is where we're at as a society in this fucking white supremacist ass country. I just want to remind you that poverty is not natural and it is man-made.
Yes.
So I know we're numb to it. This is just a reminder to all of you, because we will see homeless people and pretend like they're not there.
Yeah.
And oh my God, and they need to get out the way. I'm trying to get to work. It's not natural to see that shit. This is a problem.
And it really should be seen as a problem because it's so regular. Growing up in Florida, homelessness was not something that we were blind to. When I became homeless for the first time in 2007, I was barely 20 years old. And I had left my house because there was an abusive situation going on. I called the police. It was a lot, you know? And so I ended up being homeless in Broward. And if you live in South Florida, I feel like anybody from Florida was like, ooh, because and a lot of people were like, well, at least it's not Miami. But still. Yeah. And I want to say that I saw so many Black queer people on those streets that I was on. I was able to get out because guess what? I was a cisgendered woman who was able to get a job with no felony, and I didn't have a felony. There were Black queer women, trans women, all of these people who were out there, whether they were protecting me, living with me, whatever the case is, that did not have that kind of availability, that did not have that kind of access. And in that situation, I realized, in a space, especially as a Black woman, realizing, oh, in this position, I am privileged. Mm. I had never been in a situation where I had to be like, oh no, I'm the privileged one. So when cops came, so on and so forth came, I was the one talking to them because guess what? They're just going to throw them in jail and not give two fucks about what's happening. And that's only if it was a possibility that I could have done such a thing. And the reason why I'm even telling that story is because I need people to understand how serious homelessness is and how this is happening to people, whether they are veterans. Talk about how you love your veterans. You don't give a fuck.
They don't.
That's one of the other biggest demographics of people on the street. Whether it's mental illness, being queer, whatever the case is, homelessness is the outcasts. It's the people who, by the way, just couldn't make their rent for 6 months. Those are the ones on the street right now. I feel like we only think this only happens to a certain type of people.
Right. This could be us tomorrow.
Somebody loses a job and doesn't get it back. Us thinking about our credit tanking is not the biggest deal at that moment.
Don't even get me started on credit.
But even thinking about, guess what, if something like that happens to you, we don't even talk about how hard is it for you to go back to living in a place. Mm-hmm. Did you fix your credit?
And do you make 5 times the rent?
And the bottom is 3. The bottom is 3 times the rent. If we were to talk about just the struggle it was to get into this house.
The obstacles we went through, girl.
And you have to remember, I'm the one who got a little bit of credit. Ain't much, I got a little bit, right? And it was insane.
Which credit was invented in 1989. So all this shit is a scam. It's made up.
It's not something that we're actually supposed to have. But I guess the reason that I wanted to talk about that is that we're talking about like homeless people, and you're looking at us living inside of a house, 6 months with no income. That's exactly who we are. And I just want to let anybody know, if you're watching this, 6 months with no income, you're here. You're right here. We have got to stop. It's why I hate it when people are like, oh, well, bitch, you broke. You ain't nobody. You ain't this. You ain't that. I don't care if they are a content creator. Fanita is 6 months away from being homeless. doesn't matter who you are.
Also, why are we still using words like you're poor and you're broke as insults, as if most of this population in this fucking country isn't those things? Like, you really think you're eating when you say that.
It's
and you're
so
not.
weird when you're like, type of car, and you don't have this property, and you don't have the... I'm sorry.
So, I'm not the 1%. Okay, you really thought you ate.
So, all of the people paying for your albums are
There's no
pieces of
middle
shit,
class,
right?
by the way. So you really think you're eating right now?
It's like, so all the people buying your albums, all the people buying your shit, they're just pieces of shit, right? Because they don't make any money?
And this is what, girl.
Cool. Like I said, I feel like people don't need to understand that no matter what, this podcast is that we are leftists. We are socialists. We are not here to play games with you hoes, and we certainly are not here to be like, oh, let's get rich.
Yeah, we are, like she said, leftists. We are not Republican or Democrat. We are black and pragmatic.
And I need y'all to know the only reason that we need money is because they say we do.
Which money is a hypothetical concept that we created due to greed. Because what is money?
Let's be real.
And the value of it depends on where the fuck it's located at.
Yeah, no, it really depends on demographic. It depends on the people that are wielding it, that are handling it. It depends on all kinds of things. I guess the point of what I'm saying is that when we're seeing homeless people on the street, we really like to pretend that they are so separate from us. They are not separate. They are us in a bad time. They are us in a layoff. They are us. So stop pretending that person digging inside the trash can for a sandwich can't be you. And I'm sick and tired of us looking down on homeless people or houseless people just because. It's really disgusting.
Talking about, they kind of sketchy. They oh my God.
Oh, there's homeless people over here. And
y'all are fucked up individuals. Like,
it's
when I see these 10 cities, like, I get teary-eyed even. Like,
yeah, no, because because that's their only life.
We're supposed to be the greatest country on earth.
Even when I was going to the 2020 protest, I'm here in the 2020 protest, and you see people who are homeless, who are leaving their tenements to walk with us.
We're having whole Super Bowls when people just stepping out of their fucking rich $500,000 cars, just pretend like the homeless people ain't
And
there.
by the way, for the last Super Bowl, those rich people decided to clear away
Yeah.
all of the houseless people.
Move them out the way.
Because guess what? Rich people don't want to see that when they walk into their fucking game.
Tickets were like, what, $100,000?
There was $6,000 tickets and there were $20,000 tickets. I don't know how high they could go.
They raised $14.8 billion for this last Super Bowl.
So a lot.
Billion? Do you know how much $1 billion is? 14.8
Just so you know, if Aaron or I together, let's say we both had $500 million apiece, we would not be able to spend it in our lifetime. We wouldn't. It didn't matter, and it wouldn't matter what we bought. Do you know how crazy it is that it wouldn't matter what we bought, and we still would not be able to spend that money in a lifetime?
14.8 billion with a B.
And that's 1 billion. Is what I'm talking about. Multiply that times 14. It's okay. We're gonna move.
You wonder why we want to bring the guillotine. Okay.
It's okay. We're gonna move on. It's all good. Ooh, let's talk about Billy Porter.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh my God, I'm so tired.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Look, Billy Porter makes me tired.
As he should. As he should.
So, I've always had not anymore because he's tap dancing.
Yeah.
But I've always had so much respect for Billy Porter, right? Mm-hmm. Unapologetically black and queer.
Yes.
To be black, queer, and femme in this colonial empire is very revolutionary.
Coming out on the red carpets in dresses, like
yes.
bedazzled in gold. When I say I was one of his biggest supporters, and honestly, when I started to see Billy Porter's true colors was when he won that award and he told black trans women that you have to wait your turn. This is amongst Angelica Ross, MJ Rodriguez, India Moore. You're telling these bitches to wait their turn?
The cis patriarchy jumped out during that moment.
Yes, 100%.
But yeah, I'm just very disappointed in Billy Porter. Billy Porter went to this Juneteenth celebration at the White House, which is so fucking ironic. Because why the fuck are we celebrating Juneteenth at the capital of the colonial empire that our black asses live in? It's beyond me. But anyways, Billy Porter is kissing Joe Biden's hand. Like, oh my God, thank you, massa, pick me.
I just want to say, Joe Biden was looking into the camera, and I just want to say, he looked like this. Where is that nigga?
This nigga has.
Where is he? Where is, and
By the way, this nigga has access to nuclear codes.
And we're not going to talk about the fact that this man has been a Zionist from inception. That he's also been a racist since inception, which is how you know that Obama wasn't shit.
Ooh, look, what left this? I want y'all to remember that.
No, a bunch of black people were just like, oh my God, Michelle, she gave us lunch. Listen, I understand where, no.
She gave us artificial food.
No, that shit was organic, girl. I remember that. But listen, what I'm going to be very real with you. I don't care who is in that space. They are just a face for us. And let's be real. Obama, he put the bomb in Obama. Let's keep it 100. That nigga was, and by the way, and because my family isn't American is why I know specifically, Obama was deporting people at one of the highest rates that we've ever seen in a presidency.
And this is why we say black faces in high places will not save us.
It's not going to give us anything.
Because at the end of the day, we live in a colonial empire. And if you're black and you want to participate in this colonial empire government, you have to assimilate to whiteness. Barack Obama is not going to go up there and say, abolish the police,
no.
Black Lives Matter,
and if
housing should be free, all these things. He's not going to do that. He
couldn't even go to the water crisis that we had in oh my goodness, I think it was in Flint, Michigan. He couldn't even go there and actually acknowledge that it was happening. He literally pretended to drink a clean cup of water that he, if you look closely, obviously didn't swallow because the nigga wants to live. That's your president. Trayvon Martin happened under his presidency. So many things happened under his presidency. You need to stop looking at all of these presidents and thinking that they were possibly for you in any type of capacity.
Did he have a white mom or a white dad?
Child, it don't matter.
It don't matter regardless, but I'm just wondering.
I want to say it was a white dad, but the way I'm seeing these black female divestors roll, you and the black men aren't doing too well. I used to be like, oh, if they got a black mother, I know it's better. I've been seeing things. It's been disappointing.
Sydney and I are not your typical... we're not liberals.
I'm liberal. I'm not a liberal.
Like, cause
whatever y'all people be doing, we're not on that bandwagon. I'm sorry, my love. You still talking about capitalism. You're still talking about making sure that you can, change and reform the police. We're talking about tearing it down.
And then, again, that goes to show a lot of you do not have the range when we say, y'all hear the word abolish and panic. When we say abolish, we're talking about we need a different system of security in this fucking country, a different avenue of policing. Because the avenue that we're using now still comes from slave catching, and it's still being used to this very fucking day.
And even, and just so, happy Juneteenth. Period. I need y'all to understand that, especially when we talk about the industrial complex of prison, slavery is still happening.
Yeah.
It's the prisoners who are now tilling the fields from the 13th Amendment where slavery was abolished, but not in the prison system. Maybe it makes you, maybe if I say, hey, guess what? It's not just black slaves in the prison system. Maybe you'll pay attention then. I'm not sure. But this is something that is currently going on. It's currently happening. And I cannot, as a socialist, as a leftist, as a person whose eyes are open, go ahead and continue to let you think that this industrial prison complex is something for us to continue to feed into. Remember, we were just talking about Obama. Guantanamo Bay. We're gonna have to stop pretending that just because they put Stacey Abrams, and I think that y'all remember from last year, I was like, oh, I like Stacey Abrams. I really hope that. And then next, Aaron like, girl, she want more money for the police.
Right. Like, she loved the Popo girl. That's what I'm saying. And
I was like, why? How could she love the Popo? We was just talking. We just had a conversation.
You have to love the Popo because you work for the state. You work for the state. Like, that's what I'm saying. And this is what... There's not going to be a trust there. And the fact is, for a lot of people, especially a lot of people like myself and Aaron, who are on this type of timing, there's no way that you're going to convince us to get to the polls. How are you going to convince us to get to the polls when literally both candidates are the same? One has a wig, one needs hospice. That's the only difference. Both have a goal of upholding the colonial empire, but what bothers y'all is that Trump is blatant about it. They're both white supremacists, but you say, oh, we're going to pick Biden because he's not out loud saying that he wants to uphold white supremacy.
But he's in our faces killing Palestinians with no...
But yeah, it's like... But again, since it's not happening over here, y'all white liberals don't give a damn. So that tells me, oh, well, y'all definitely, and y'all still don't. Hell, now don't give a damn about black was being killed here.
And just so you know, the Palestinian cause and the black cause has been the same for a long time. Y'all always want to talk about Malcolm X. And Malcolm X was like so it's really crazy to have black Christians side with Israel. I know we are going off on a tangent. This is not how the show was supposed to go.
Welcome to Earth Together podcast.
But this is what's happening. To go ahead and see black churches align themselves with Israel is fucking disgusting. I've never seen anything like this.
It's disgusting and embarrassing.
Oh, say it again. Oh my God. Embarrassing is such an understatement.
Like, wake the fuck up, please.
The fact that you think that this is okay, the fact that you think that we're going to be able to get somewhere from here, and that you think that you're just going to vote for Biden and you'll be fine because you're trying to protect your 401k, How do I explain to you that less than 40, that more than 50% of this actual country makes less than $40,000 a year?
It's like most people do y'all even have the range? Like when it comes to, most people aren't even thinking about retirement right now. Y'all don't have the range to have these conversations. They're trying to raise the retirement age, by the way.
To 70, I think was it? Well, no. Yeah. Or was it? No, I think it was.
75.
It was 65 a few years ago, and they upped it by 10 years. Why aren't you more afraid?
401k, like, girl, I can't afford that right now. Look at where the fuck we're at. We're in a recession, depression, all these things.
$7 for eggs. We're talking about $7 for eggs. How much is gas right now? Like,
at least 4.
And all I have to say is, and we're going to move on to the next topic, but all I have to say is that the one thing that I need y'all to understand, especially watching our podcast and understanding exactly what we're about, is we are the underdog. So the only people we are ever going to be for is the underdog. And it doesn't matter what place we get to. It doesn't matter where we go. Because there's no way that we can live better lives unless the underdogs are getting theirs. So until we are ready to give the least of us everything, you're not on the same playing field as I am. Because you're still thinking, oh, they didn't go to school, they don't deserve. You are not trying to have betterment for all people, and that's the fucking truth.
Yeah. And that's why I'll be tucked in bed on November 5th or 8th, whatever the fuck the elections are.
Because remember the 4th of November.
And baby, I'm a black Marxist. You really think my black ass is gonna go to the fucking polls?
Listen, if I'm going to go to any polls, it'll be for local elections.
It'll be for local elections. That
because we already know after the electoral college, y'all don't give a fuck, y'all don't give a fuck, y'all don't give a fuck, and that's okay.
Emphasis on the black Marxists because, girl, that's another conversation. Because y'all be trying to whitewash.
Listen, we'll get there. Okay, going to talk about the atheists and shit. That's fine.
Next case. The House of Representatives just passed the bill for automatically putting 18 to 26-year-olds in the draft. Bitch, do y'all not know who the fuck we are? That age range don't give up two shits. We're not doing it.
In a space where you see, and we are definitely going to be talking about in the next podcast to talk about all of the protests that are going on college campuses. But let's, for just a second, we have 18 to 26-year-olds. The exact demographic that you are, you're trying to get into the Army, they're all on your campuses saying, fuck no.
Bitch, I want free health.
They're saying, they are truly saying, absolutely not.
Bitch, give it these student loans.
Which they absolutely never will. But what kills me is that the fact that the same kids who are protesting the war in Palestine are the same kids that you're going to recruit for your war. Tell me how that makes sense.
Imagine expecting Palestinian Americans especially to participate in this.
Arab Americans!
Or Black Americans.
Well, child, I've still been trying to wonder why we've been going to the Army since 1865, but it's fine.
Girl, listen, they ain't ready for that conversation, girl. It's just a mess.
You know what? I'm being obtuse. I know exactly why Black people go to the Army. They go to the Army because they can't get free education. Yeah. They can't get free health care. And this is the only way they're going to be able to make sure that they have those things. I just want those same Black people to stop looking down on other civilians like they've done something wrong by not signing themselves up to prostitute themselves to the state. Because I want to let you know, you don't think you're better than sex workers. And that's just the truth. You are selling your body. They are selling their body to certain men and whoever. You are selling your body to the state. And we're not even going to talk about what happens to women when they get into the Army, what happens to certain men that go into the Army.
And that also, this might be kind of a side note. I just want to emphasize how, once again, whiteness and white supremacy is the common denominator of all of this. Because I hear white people complaining about healthcare being so expensive, college tuition being so expensive, and all these things. The reason why it's so expensive is because you didn't want Black people there.
They don't want to talk about that.
You didn't want Black people in college, so you made it expensive as fuck. You didn't want Black people in these hospitals.
College was free.
College was free.
Until Black people started going, and now you have a tuition. And sadly, people don't want to actually talk about why that is. Story for another day. And that's totally okay. But I'm just going to be 100% real with you. I am seeing the country for exactly what it is. I know there's a lot of Black people who are seeing the country for exactly what it is. And you're not crazy. I want to let you know, you're not nuts. When you drive down the street before you get to the downtown in your area and you're seeing nothing but tents of homeless people and you're wondering what's happening, you're not crazy. You're not nuts for thinking, why is this happening? Why is this here? Stop letting people tell you that's just the way it is.
This system is doing what it's designed to do, and you're witnessing it. And it's very unfortunate, but when people say, oh, it's broken, it's not broken for the white, it's not broken for the people who invented it.
It's working.
It's working
It's
perfectly
working for
fine.
Rockefeller. It's working for Goldman Sachs. It's working for everybody who was not the fucking 1%. It's working for only the 1%. Let me go ahead
and this is why we need to come out with merch. Guillotines. Being for real.
No, for real. Because at this point, what we are saying is that we are no longer going to go ahead and bend a knee to a society that does not serve us. And I'm only asking you to look into your own life and realize that you're bending a knee to someone. Whether it's your insurance company, whether it's your fucking job, whether it's the gas prices, whether it's capitalism, you have to bend the knee in some way. And aren't you tired? Aren't you tired?
Because this fear-mongering shit about the election isn't going to work on me and Sid. Me and Sid are focused on organizing, community, and mutual aid.
Y'all still trying to figure out who should pay for the date. I'm not here to
y'all
talk to
still having, who should pay for this and all that other dumbass shit. We're focused on getting to know you, because we're all we got right now. We can't rely on the fucking government. Why are you still relying on the fucking government?
And even in my own, and I am honestly going to call it a community, even in my own community, whether it's Aaron or my girlfriend Mallory or whoever it is, all of the people that I love, those are the people that I'm fighting for. And those are the people who are victims of this fucking society. They are victims of the criminal system. They are victims of, you cannot walk into this space and think that you're just going to be okay. And the sad part is, especially for Black queer people who will think that we're always playing the victim, people who always think that, we're just reaching for a handout. We want equity, not just equality. We want equity. We want to make sure that no person, no matter who they are or where they're come from or what their education is, you get to feed your family.
Yeah. You
get to pay your bills.
I didn't know it was such a bad thing to want that, because y'all, oh my God. No, we live in a time, Sydney, where saying food, water, things that humans literally need to exist and survive in this world should be free is quote unquote radical, or is a bad thing.
For me to say that everybody should have food, which by the way, in the UN, the US was the only ones to actually vote against. Child.
Now it's recording. It's a good thing I caught that.
I'm so glad you said that.
I sobered up. I said,
listen, let me tell you something, and I'm going to keep this in too. Aaron just saved the podcast.
I saved us, y'all.
Because we were talking, and Aaron was like, I don't see the red dot. And I'm like, what? You don't see the red dot? Okay, anyway, child. So anyway, back to... For our last topic of the evening, we really want to talk about the black buck theory, especially the way that it's been discussed in the Black community. I'm not talking about in African American studies programs that actually have nuance. I'm talking about the way that Black men have absorbed the black buck theory. So we're going to go ahead and play a video.
Some energy, and I knew that somebody was going to say that. Y'all, so many people in the comments say they are so close, they are literally tapping at it, but they're not hitting it. The thing is, I'm just like that video that I made yesterday that is going back to a previous video that I made in January, when I said that it's all about that black buck stereotype. Follow me. When I say it's about that black buck stereotype, when somebody finds out that they are having a little black boy, it starts from there. And it does not end until that man is dead. It does not end. So it goes from when they're born, they're put in this box. A little black boy, like he can't cry. He's the man of the house. If he's tall, he needs to be in basketball. If he's big, he needs to be in football. He needs to do this. He can't do that. He don't do that. It's all these things that they put on their kids from the time that they are born. The mother puts it in. The mother puts it in on them. The father does it. The family does it. His teachers. Everybody has a certain expectation of a little black boy. Okay, as he gets older, now society is coming into play. Now society is also pushing that black buck stereotype on him. Now as he getting older, now he's expecting to be stoic and act a certain and not have emotions. And he needs to be strong. And here comes women coming involved, and now he needs to be a sexual deviant. And now all of these things are constantly pounding on, and that creates pressure. That creates pressure to act a certain way. Now, the way that they are similar when they only date white women is that when he goes off and he's dating a white woman, that added pressure is not there, or at least as much of it is not there. So now he gets to dial it back a little bit. Now he doesn't have to play the stereotypical role. Now he doesn't have to always be stoic. Now he gets to express more of his emotion. Am I saying that black people are not don't allow each other to express emotions? No, that's not what I'm saying. But you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
When I say that black men are not allowed to be expressive in certain ways. We see it on the internet all the time when people say, oh, if my man orders this type of drink, or why he got on these clothes, oh, he says it's always scrutinized.
Yeah.
It's always scrutinized. And I know some people will say, oh, I don't treat black men like this. I don't act like this. I don't think that my man, yes, you do. You do it to your kids too. Y'all always do it, but you will never check yourself on it because it's normal to you. Yep. It's normal for you to act like this. It's normal for you to scrutinize their masculinity. That's another thing. It's all rooted back in that black buck stereotype. And that's the reason why there's always a conversation going on about masculinity. There's always a conversation going on about masculinity. Do other black men play a part in it? Absolutely. And then other women play a part in it. Men play a part in it. Gay men play a part in it. Gay women play a part. Everybody. White people play a part in it. Asian people, everybody plays
their
part
role.
in it. And so when he goes on and he decides that it is too much pressure for him, or he doesn't want to deal with that added pressure, he goes and gets him somebody that is outside of the community, typically a white woman that does not have that same added pressure. Now his energy is a little bit more relaxed. He's able to be a little bit more expressive. He doesn't feel the pressure of acting within that stereotype. Now his energy is similar to a gay man, but it is not the same. Sisters, not twins. They act similar. Because a gay man does not have to perform masculinity in the same way that a straight man does. So that's what that is. That's why you always see similarity, and that's why so many people get them mixed up, because they are used to black men performing a certain way. That's it. And that's literally what I've been trying to say. That's what I've been trying to say. Now, there's going to be some people that get upset and get mad. You can get upset as you want to be. You cannot get mad. That is literally the truth. And when it comes to performing in a black book way with certain white women, they get to choose to do that. It is not expected, but now they get to choose to play that part. Where in other times it was not a choice. They had to do it.
No choice.
That's what I've been trying to say. I just had to come back because I'm going to update this video as I am reading the comments. I just saw somebody say that it's because they are comfortable with exploring their feminine side. That's not it. We all, as humans, we all have feminine and masculine energy. Everybody does. But it is only with straight black men where they are expected to have none. No feminine energy. Just straight up macho man at the detriment of women too. Even though women reinforce it, they're expected to behave a certain way with no feminine energy.
Yep.
But lastly, we can talk a little bit more about it later because this video is very long. None of this has anything to do with sexuality. Not a single thing I said in this video has anything to do with sexuality. Nothing. It is all personality and human experience. It has nothing to do with his sexuality. Not a single thing. Please understand that. That man is 100% straight. It has nothing to do with his sexuality. It is not submissive energy.
Thank you, Dr. Casanova Brown. Okay. That's what his name is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, Dr. I can't believe I remember that. Thank you, Dr. Casanova Brown. And his hair. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a beautiful moisturized. Beautiful. Are you a top? No, he's not. Anyway, you're Shut up. That's not what this is about. Thank you. No. Thank you so much. I'm not trying to sexualize you. I'm so sorry. But no, thank you so much for saying exactly what you said. Because when I say that black men are 100% victims, but just not in the way they think they are.
The way he broke it down with the way when they get with
from
white women?
From top to bottom. Like, come on, say hello to Milo.
Milo's like, I'm still hungry. I'll have you.
Y'all ate, stop it. No, but I think that it is, I love that video, and I'm so glad that Casanova was able to put it together so succinctly, so beautifully, and so well done. And it's something that a lot of black men, a lot of AMAB people have had to deal with in their childhood. Because just because you don't identify as a man right now, the pressures of being a man, especially a black man as a child, is something that I know you went through, and I know it's universal. It's something I know that people were putting on you, and you were trying to figure out how or why or what.
Because like you said, as humans, we all have masculine energy, but it's like specifically black men are not allowed to like embrace all of those things.
It's true. It's true.
Every time.
On a constant basis. And then you wonder why there are so many
performance.
black men are going through such a high suicide rate the way that they are.
Because it's all performance. Like Oscar, Emmy, or Tony, are you acting or what?
Like, no, honestly. And listen, I am, first and foremost, I just want to let y'all know, I'm so glad that you were able to come in and have this video with us, watch this, and actually listen to all of the topics that we've been going through today. We are going to be doing another one next week, because we go...
Yeah, every week. That's the goal.
We putting it out. And I just want to say, as much, no matter what topic it is, I need you, the one thing that I want you to understand about me and Aaron is that we love black people for real. No matter what gender, no matter what you identify as. But because we love us so much, we can't not talk about the problems. We can't not talk about the issues. And that's why we will be here every week fighting for black queer people, fighting for the marginalized people within our own community.
Yeah.
No matter what. That's why we're here.
Because like we say, like, black LGBT folks have... our voices are ostracized for the most part. Mm-hmm. We want to create that safe space for black queer folks. So that's what we're going to do. And
that's what we're going to continue to do with our podcast. I just want to let you know, as per usual, we are an listening platform that there is out there. And I just want you to also know that truly, when we say at the end of each episode that being queer is African, I want you to know that is a really well-researched term. I wanted to learn about us before colonization, to see exactly who we were. So when I say, for the black people out there are trying to figure out where they are and why they are, because they're queer, being queer is African. No one can ostracize you from you.
Period.
And that's all.
You can listen to all of our episodes on all streaming platforms, y'all. Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, all the things where you can listen to a podcast. We are there, girl.
And many, many more. But as per usual, we love y'all. Please come see us again, and we have more stuff for you.
Bye, hoes.
Bye.